And that's how you make coffee in a van. Good morning, guys.
We've been making lattes in the van for years now, and I love making lattes. I love making latte art. However, pretty much since we left the United States, from Mexico all the way down, they have different milk. They have this like long shelf life milk. It doesn't go bad for like 6 months to a year. They don't store it in the refrigerator. It comes on a regular shelf next to like the juice. It's very strange. It doesn't foam or behave or have the same characteristics of regular milk.
So this is what milk looks like when you buy it in grocery stores. It's just like shelf ripened milk. It's so weird. But we did find Chile has amazing grocery store knockoffs of Walmart. We've got some actual almond milk. First time in months we've seen this. So I'm actually kind of like trying to save it for when I really need it. I'm excited about this.
I think Allie's gonna make some pancakes right now, but I'm gonna go show you guys where we parked last night. Check this out. It's just a gas station, but it's probably the loudest gas station I think we have ever parked at. Not only were there multiple gangs of fire trucks that came flying down the road with sirens going as loud as possible in the middle of the night. There's like 4 or 5 dogs that live here at this gas station, and they were going nuts all night. And then there was like 2 different times where like gas trucks, like the big tankers, pulled in, and these guys had to like close down the gas station while they filled up the tanks in the ground, is what my guess is. And they have these big metal barriers that they like drag across the concrete to like close off the parking lot. Needless to say, I did not really get that much sleep at all.
Gas stations are safe places to park though, so when in doubt, just know you're not gonna get a great night's sleep, but you'll be somewhere safe.
Yeah,
They're always guarded.
There's usually gas station attendants that are at the gas station all night long, and they're kind of like keeping an eye on your vehicle unintentionally. Yeah.
So apparently we're making pancakes? Is that what I heard?
Yeah!
We were young and we were free and running, never bothered about what could be coming. Every day we danced and life was smiling. We were young and drunk in love. A few years later I have started thinking.
Very pancakey.
Years later I have started thinking.
You saw the first clip there, that pancake mix basically came out looking like a big thick oatmeal cookie or something on the frying pan. We got the Bob's buttermilk. Gosh, I've tried to say this, I've tried to record this like 10 times and I just can't. We got the Bob's Red Mill buttermilk pancake mix. There's an amazing find here, and they put the little Spanish nutritional guide on the back because the package is actually in English. And they put it over the English instructions. We couldn't figure out what the proper proportions were for the recipe, so I looked it up online. We made what it said online, and I don't know if it's correct or not, but those were way too thick. So we added a little bit of extra milk, threw them back on the frying pan. My mouth's already watering. I'm so excited for buttermilk pancakes.
I'm always shining next to you. Oh, I got you. There's no reason to.
Could you be any more perfect?
Oh, shut up.
Making buttermilk pancakes with the powdered sugar and the strawberry.
Some sugar for my sugar.
Sugar for the sugar.
I actually dug in our cabinets and found the remnants of some incredible fresh Canadian pure maple syrup from Eamon and Beck's One of a Kind show like 2 years ago up in Canada. We savor this. We've got a little bit left. We're gonna use it today.
And just like that, breakfast is finished. Allie is catching up on some Instagram messages. I'm catching up on some YouTube comments. And we're gonna do some dishes really quick, and then we gotta hit the road. To be honest, I've been waiting for this day for a really long time for multiple reasons. We're gonna get into that on the drive.
For those of you who kind of know our story, this might sound familiar to you, but when we started dating, we started building out our very first van together, Tony Vanza. And way back in January of 2017, we took a trip in a very half-built out Tony Vanza to Las Vegas to go rock climbing with some friends. On that drive from Utah to Las Vegas, we were joking about how cool it would be to drive to South America, to drop everything and explore a new continent, a new culture, and just set off on a great adventure.
We were trying to think of ways and brainstorming on how we could accomplish it. And I have a friend that I grew up with. We played Little League football together. I've known him since I was probably 13, 12 years old. And about 10 years ago, he moved back to Chile, where his family is from. On January 17th, 2017, I sent him a message and I said, dude, when me and Allie are done building our van, we're gonna come to South America and explore. Do you still live in Chile? And Matthias said, yeah, man, I still live here. It's so awesome. I live right by Patagonia. You guys are gonna love it. Like, come on down. That idea kind of dissipated. It never really came to fruition. We ended up selling that van, building out Pamela Vanderson, and then pretty much just by chance, we ended up heading into South America. And now we are in Chile, and today we are heading to Matthias's house. We're gonna go meet up with my friend that I've known since middle school. He lives in Pucón, which is an amazing place, and I think he's got some awesome adventures that he's gonna help us embark on. I'm really excited for today. I think we just stopped in paradise. What?
You have the keys?
Yeah. Pucón is amazing.
Lock the door.
This place is literally, we just did like a little drive-through and we couldn't find any parking that was big enough for the van. But now we're gonna walk into town, we're gonna grab ourselves a burger and some lunch.
Trent is 100% convinced that he's gonna find an authentic American burger.
I saw a place that said burgers. They even said it in English, I think. Maybe it said hamburguesas. Anyway.
This town, Pucón, we've been here for 5 minutes and it already reminds us both so much of Banff, which is a beautiful city in Alberta? What state is it?
Yeah,
I think it's in Alberta, in Canada, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
$18 a minute.
A minute?
We found 3 different people that you pay for parking with, and one of them told us that where we're parked is good, and then we said, do we have to pay? And they said yes. Then we said, well, where do we find the person? And they said, I don't know. Then we found another person and he's for a different quadrant, and we said, well, what about this place over here? And he said, oh, there's a different person over there. We said, well, how do we find them? And he said, oh, if there's no person, then it's free.
Okay.
So I guess we have found out that it's kind of a strange pay for your parking system, and we're about to find out how vigilant they are about giving tickets.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I guess we'll see.
Anyway, we're gonna head in and get some lunch because we're starving. Pucón is like a very ritzy mountain town on a lake. It's kind of like Jackson Hole or Tahoe. Things are expensive, things are really nice.
But what's crazy is as we were driving in here, Trent was like, oh, this feels like Utah, this feels so cool, I love the forest, I love being near the water. And we were looking up the latitudes of where we are right now.
I've been looking and watching and keeping track of how far south we're going. And I know the latitudes of like the general Utah area, which is where we're from, or where I'm from at least. And I've been waiting until we get far enough on the southern hemisphere to basically match the latitude of Utah. And Pucón is basically the same as the center of Utah as far as latitude goes. And you can kind of tell that basically since Santiago until here, things are starting to look familiar. You know, it's dry, the trees look the same, the mountains look very similar. They're different in their own way, but it is something that I've been looking forward to this entire trip, and it kind of makes me feel at home. So So if you guys couldn't tell from those few clips, these burgers are absolutely enormous, and Allie has resorted to eating it like a princess, with a fork and a knife.
It's huge. You don't want to watch me eat this.
I don't mind, I like a little entertainment while I eat.
That lunch was surprisingly delicious. And I'm super full now. We're gonna take a little walk and explore the city, and then I think we're gonna go meet up with Matthias.
What's up, dude?
Man,
Good to see you, bro.
take it all the way to the end, nice
Okay.
and straight, and then I'm like at the end, second to last house on the left.
Okay.
I opened the fence for you.
Dude, I don't know if I mentioned this, I probably have, but me and Matthias haven't seen each other in like 10 years. It's just so crazy. I'm just like really happy that not only do we get to come this far down into the Americas, but that I have a friend from back home that we get to like catch up with and spend some time with. And I think we're gonna get into some really cool adventures while we're here. Oh man, I've had so much time catching up with Matthias and his family. I just barely met his wife and his kids. And now we're actually sitting down, we're making some tacos, of all things. It's not a Chilean thing, it's a Mexican thing, but we all like tacos. So we're making some tacos right now, getting a little bit comfortable. It's been a great evening. This is a video camera, you wanna say hi?
Hi.
Say hi, YouTube.
Hi.
It's always fun to meet friends on the road, but there's just like a different feeling when you're reconnecting with an old friend you haven't seen in a long time. Even though I'd never met Matthias or Diane before, I'm really happy to be here too. It's just awesome.
Yeah, and Pucón is like this amazing place. It's the Lake District. There's huge mountains, there's a volcano, there's rivers. We're gonna be doing some cool stuff on the rivers, and I think maybe some stuff on the volcano too.
I hope.
Not tonight, but in the next few days.
If you're feeling really ambitious.
Yeah. You wanna say hi to the vlog?
Yeah, sure I will, man. Oh, am I on the blog right now? Hi, blog. I'm Matthias, man. I'm Trent's high school friend. Before that, middle school. Yes. Now we're in Chile. This is my wife, Diane.
Hi.
These guys have been living down here for about 5 years in Pucón. Matthias is actually a professional kayaker. Your team just competed in Turkey?
Yeah, we went to Worlds. We almost got first, but yeah, we got fourth. We did good. We're happy with that.
These guys are super awesome. We're gonna enjoy these tacos and basically just kick back and have a beer. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Welcome.
You guys.
Okay.
Okay, you gonna do it? Okay.
Let's hear it.
So Matthias was just explaining to us that here, especially in the south of Chile, they have a big influence, especially from the Germans and German beer. And then he was explaining to us the reason that people started cheersing and why you slam your cups together.
So the cheersing story comes from the old kingdoms or, kingdom times or castles or whatnot. And I guess it was to prove or to show that you hadn't poisoned someone's drink. So the whole idea of smashing your mugs together would be so the beer would mix with each other, and then that way you'd prove that you weren't trying to poison anyone. So cheers, I guess. Don't slam it, don't slam it.
What are you doing?
Look out. Look at this guy. He's got his nose stuck in the door.
Oh, sorry, Rocco.
You gotta go to bed,
It's time for
Rocco.
bed. Oh, there's Loki too. Be careful. Oh, that's
We got a
cute.
whole gang here. Hey, Frank can't come out and play.
Sorry, guys.
Frank had all the playtime earlier today. Sorry, guys. Matthias, my long lost brother. Been having such a great time hanging out with him and Diane. Honestly, Pucón is, I think we said it earlier, it's like Jackson Hole. It's an amazing little adventure town. I'm really excited to spend a few days here.
We're definitely going to be taking advantage of Matthias's skills as a professional whitewater kayaker and river guide and exploring some of the area around here. And hopefully we'll get to maybe do some stuff with him and Diane when they're not with their adorable little girls. Aren't those girls so cute? Oh my gosh.
Oh, they're killing me with their little performances.
Oh, such hams. I love it.
Hopefully you guys had a good time coming along on this adventure. Now you found out what we've been waiting basically this entire trip forward to reach the same latitude on the southern hemisphere that we're from on the northern hemisphere, and to meet up with my friend Matthias. Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you on the next one.
Adios.